Hey guys. Hey guys. Hello, hello. I'm so glad to see you guys here. So this is going to be pretty straight to the point. We're going to talk about Vocality Lab and give you guys information. Um, it's awesome. I see so many familiar faces from our masterclass last week. Hey, I see Barbara and Crystal and Julia. Hello, Michael, Patricia. I'm so glad you guys are here. So as most of you know, this little info session is by invitation only. And this is our way of being able to invite you into another training option that we only offer to those we know who are serious and passionate, who you know that this method that I've pioneered, that we coach, is right for you, and you know there's so much more that you don't know, right? And you've gotten so much out of my content, but you you really don't want to be implementing these techniques on your own. And you may think that the intensive training program is also not exactly the right container for you, but you want our guidance. You want to train with our team. You want expert eyes and ears on you, but it's just not the right time, either financially or otherwise, time wise, whatever it may be, to come into the intensive training program. And so Vocality Lab, which is what this info session is about, is our training solution that is a way to work with us at a different level that is more time flexible, more budget conscious than the intensive, but still gets you into action to see improvements in all areas of your singing while up-leveling you towards the goals you have for your singing and towards the intensive program when you're ready, if that's what you want. So just a little backstory for a second. For a while now, I had been feeling, so Vocality Lab was something we started last year. And prior to that, I had been feeling that I wanted to create a training container for my holistic method that I felt was really in integrity with the pillars of the method, where it's technique, it's mindset, it's artistry, and it's hands-on support for those of you who are right there, who really want to start the transformation of their voice, even if they're not ready for the intensive training program yet, either because of financial circumstances, time constraints, or any other circumstance in their life right now. And until last year, we didn't have anything to serve those of you who were in that boat. And so I really took my time with it, because if I'm going to live up to my mission to be creating the number one most transformational vocal training method in the world, then I need to make sure that everything that I offer is up to my standard. But I also have to be really honest about what I was seeing were the gaps in the vocal training space, and seeing how I could fill those gaps while still maintaining my standard and still being in integrity with the pillars of my method. Because I will share with you that after years and years and years of being a professional singer myself, training singers, interacting with a multitude of training methods and programs and modalities, and really getting to know what's preventing you from achieving your first big breakthroughs when it comes to the kinds of less intensive training at lower levels of investment that are out there right now, I feel like I really understand what's missing. So I guess first I'd be curious to find out how many of you here have bought a self-paced singing course. Have any of you bought a self-paced singing course before? Tell me in the chat. I'm curious. These are courses where there's like no eyes and ears on you. Okay, so Michael has, but some of you have not. These are kind of courses where like they hand you a bunch of information and then you just make through it on your own. And traditionally, the most budget conscious vocal training traditionally falls into this kind of self-paced category. But there's huge gaps in these kinds of less intensive training programs at lower levels of investment. And the first three are the biggest, and I didn't want us to fall into that gap. So what I was identifying was the first gap, that is that traditional self-paced singing courses, they're not holistic. So they only address half the singer's problem. They only address technique. And they leave out the one thing that can and will sabotage technique every time if it's not addressed. And that's, as you guys know, mindset. So singers in those programs get limited results without understanding why. The second gap I identified is that traditional self-paced singing courses, they lack some element of accountability. And it's one of the biggest reasons why most singers who purchase them either don't complete them or they do, and they still have no idea how to apply what they've learned into their own unique voice in a consistent way. And then the third gap that I identified is that there are limited resources when it comes to taking singers from good to great that do include real-time, hands-on, live individual coaching where singers get the eyes and ears of a real true expert on them regularly to ensure that they're implementing the techniques that they're learning correctly in their unique voice and doing it right. Okay. So Vocality Lab is designed to make our holistic method accessible for singers around the world who need support, who need accountability, and who need a roadmap to accelerate their vocal transformation more quickly and at a price that meets them where they are right now. So I created it with the specific goal in mind to give you foundational holistic support and education in your voice to springboard you to the next level. And it's a solution that's affordable, that's easy to consume and implement, that works for where you are in your life and in your singing at this moment of time, regardless of if you've had training before or if you have not. Because look, as much as I wish that every single one of you had the ability to come do our flagship intensive training program right now, for those who can't, this is now why we have Vocality Lab. And so it is technique, it is mindset, it is artistry in a more budget conscious and schedule flexible container. And so I've created specific training modules for you covering technique, covering mindset, artistry too, that are designed for busy singers to consume and practice at your own pace. So dial in your breath support with focused technical trainings and vocal exercises and practice MP3s. Get the essentials of vocal resonance with focused technique trainings, with vocal exercises, practice MP3s. And then also the singer's mind-body toolkit to create synergy in mind and body, complete with guided meditations, thought exercises, and also learning how to engage your unique energy and your unique artistry through creative exploration exercises. And plus, and as far as I'm concerned, this is the best part, live individual training and accountability in a group context that moves you into action right away, both on stage and off. So what does this look like? It looks like bi-weekly live studio classes. So live individual coaching in a group context 2 times a month. So it's the second and fourth Tuesdays of every month with our expert technique coach, Annie Fitch, who you guys met and who's also here today, on alternating Tuesday evenings, 7:30 to 9 p.m. Eastern, 4:30 to 6 p.m. Pacific. So most of you know Coach Annie. You met her this past week in our master class, and she's our expert technique coach who works alongside me, coaching our singers in the intensive training program, and she's your expert technique coach in Vocality Lab. So let me tell you about Annie just for a second. I'm just going to brag on you for a second, Annie. So in Annie's professional career, so she's clocked over 1,000 paid professional singing performances. You guys, she's done it all. She did the international equity tour of Shrek the Musical as Fiona. She's done The Witch and Pops, which is Pacific Opera's critically acclaimed Into the Woods. She's done the leading role in Radio City Music Hall Christmas Spectacular. She did that for many years as Mrs. Claus. I mean, talk about scope of career. You name it, Annie has sung it. And as an expert technique coach in Vocality Lab, Annie coaches studio class twice a month, helping our lab singers up-level their technique, their delivery, their storytelling. She knows my method inside and out, and she's gonna tell you a little bit more about what a Vocality Lab studio class is like and what you can expect in there coaching with her. So hi, Annie. Welcome, welcome.
Hey Arden, thank you. Hi everyone. Great to see you all. So happy that you're here. Yeah, so let's just kind of talk about studio class. Well, as you might have guessed, singing is a calling for me. And, the one thing that is on par with live performance for me is leveling up other singers. Like that's a puzzle that I want to figure out. So it's such a joy to be able to help you level yourselves up. I'm loving it. So, like Arden said, there is work to be done on your own, and that is working through the modules at your own pace and having your own regular practice time. And then, yes, every other Tuesday we come together, and in every class, you will get one on one time with me where that's your opportunity to make sure and understand and have absolute certainty that you are embodying the things that you're learning in the modules. And so, let's say you get up and we're going to do an exercise or we're going to do some repertoire and you're working on something specifically and it's going great. Let's say you are implementing the method really, really well. You're going to walk away with a directive from me to either help you lock into that feeling a little bit more, or here's what we're going to look at next. So every coaching, you're going to walk away with a direction that you should be giving yourself and practicing with over the next 2 weeks until we meet again. And let's say, it's not integrating yet. We're going to figure it out together. And by the time, our coaching is finished, you're going to know exactly what kind of feeling that you are looking to create inside of your body so that it becomes absolutely repeatable so that you can eventually do it without thinking about it, which is what we all want.
Awesome.
um, what else? Yes. So in class, it will get weird. And that is just a guarantee. I guarantee you that I'm going to say something that's a little strange. And, it's just your opportunity to go with it and be coachable and find out what happens when you take the. Okay, good. Yeah, Michael's there. Weird says middle name. Great. He's ready. I love it. I love it. Yeah, that's how you get the gold by going with it and finding out what happens. Here's another important piece of information. Here's the beauty of working in this online forum on Zoom, which blew my mind when I first came into this kind of training. So let's just say we're in class together and Michael's coaching. And so everyone else in the class is on mute while Michael's coaching, and everyone can follow along with him and take on what he's learning through his coaching to level yourself up faster. And the people who make the fastest progress are the people who work alongside everyone else because you're going to, let's say it's something that you already know and have already learned, it's going to land with you in a different and deeper way when you watch someone else going through the same process. Or you may learn something that you desperately, desperately need to know. So and like, here's the thing, like, I could be working with Michael, and Kelly can be in her house making so much noise, and it doesn't disturb the coaching at all. So everybody can be learning what they need to in their space, and it's fantastic. And then the last and one most important things is that Vocality Lab is a safe and positive environment. So we, only being each other's cheerleaders and, um, each other's safety net and support is the environment that we want to create and foster, because this is the place where you do want to make a bad sound, because when you make a bad sound here, we figure it out together, and this is the safe place to do the thing that you don't want to do when you're in performance, so that you've already worked it out, it's already been done. And it's a really incredible supportive environment of people who all are like-minded and want the best for each other and the best for the group, and it's really amazing what can happen. So that's what it's like.
Awesome. So I'm so glad that Annie was able to share that with you. Annie is a beast and a sweetheart at the same time. She will share something with you that will all of a sudden just annihilate an old, way of maybe thinking about your technique or your support. And then she's going to hold you to it with kindness and gentle compassion, but she's going to hold you to it. So thank you for sharing what studio class is like in Vocality Lab. Now, in addition to 2 studio classes a month, working technique and performance with Annie, you will also have monthly group mindset calls. So once a month. So it's individual mindset coaching in a group context with our expert mindset coach, Judy Lester, to help you break the patterns and boundaries stopping you from thriving both on stage and off. And so it's topic focused discussion to optimize your thinking for vocal growth. So mindset call is every third Tuesday of every month. It's a 2-hour call once a month from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific. And so let me tell you about Judy for a second. So now, Judy, I'm just going to brag on you for a second. You guys, I have the best team, best team. So Judy is what we call a transformational mindset coach. And she has worked with hundreds of professionals and creatives alike to optimize their thinking for better outcomes in their careers. And she's been doing this for over a decade plus. And so, as our transformational mindset coach for our singers, Judy leads weekly group mindset calls, monthly small group hot seat coaching calls, and one-on-one individual support, helping the singers in our intensive training program get better results in their singing by changing their thinking. Because as you guys know, if you follow my content or you came to the workshop, changing thinking equals changing singing. And so Judy is an expert in facilitating the kind of subconscious reframing and reprogramming that builds new energy, new beliefs, new confidence for our singers to go beyond their comfort zone and achieve new heights in their singing and their singing careers. And she's your expert mindset coach in Vocality Lab as well. And so she's here with us and she's going to tell you a little bit about what Vocality Lab mindset call is like and what you can expect in their coaching with her. So welcome, Judy.
Hello, everyone. I'm so glad to see you. Glad you're here tonight. Thanks for being here. Um, wow, what can I tell you about our coaching in Vocality Lab? It is just the funnest, coolest, most wonderful thing to get to bring together a group of singers who all have the same mental struggles. Believe it or not, every struggle you're thinking is probably also one that someone else is thinking. And so we just take what's coming up really consistently for people at the moment, and we break it down and we look at how to approach it differently. We dispel the myths that we've created about it. And so I just want to give you an example. So this last week when we were having Vocality Lab, the thing that came up for several people was that they get really nervous singing in front of others in practice. So whether it be a spouse at home, a roommate, the person on the other side of the wall in their apartment complex, it doesn't matter. There's something about not being able to just let it go in their practice. And so we really talked about what's causing the stop on that. What are you worried about? And as we broke that down, what the different mindset issues were, it's that you don't want to disturb somebody, or you're afraid of how they're judging you, or you're thinking that you're too loud and you want to be louder, or you're thinking you're being too soft and you wish that you could be louder. It's all these things come up, and we just break them down one by one and create a whole new belief about it. Because the thing of it is, we tend to have this black and white thinking. We think that this is the way it has to be. Those are limiting beliefs that we would create for ourselves that say, you can't do this. And the reason we have those limiting beliefs is because it wants to keep us safe. If we believe that we can't do it, if we believe that we can sing quieter, that we can just not have to bother anybody, we can stay safe and not have to put ourselves out there. So we break through that safety net and we discover, okay, wait a minute, there's ways that you can communicate this. So many times it's a very simple step of, like, one person just committed to going and knocking on their neighbor's door and saying, hey, I want to be singing and practicing during the afternoon. These are the time periods I have. Is there a time period that would be better for you that I do that. And they came up with a great solution. And so then the problem was solved. But if we hadn't done that, they would have stayed stuck, still just trying to play small, not do their practice, and therefore really not getting into their game the way that they want to. Another one that we've dealt with recently is perfectionism. So many people have this feeling that you have to be perfect every time, right? And there is no such thing as perfection. So we broke that down. What does it look like to not have to think you have to be perfect, but that you can trust your body, trust yourself, and know that there's no such thing as perfection, but what is possible is to be perfectly imperfect, to be able to explore, to play, to learn, to grow, to evolve, and not feel like if I don't get it just right, it's never going to happen. So we just dispel all the myths that come up that keep you from getting out there and doing what you want to do. Get those gigs booked. That's another thing we've worked on is how do you get out there and put yourself out for gigs? How do you get out and practice? How do you find band members? These are all things that, believe it or not, even though they sound like just practical steps, there's always the mindset behind it that's making it not happen or allowing it to happen. And so what we want to do is really get you where you can very empowered and excited go out there and do anything you want to do on any stage at any time without those holdbacks, without those fears, without those doubts. And just the group together, helping one another through that, working on a topic makes all the difference. And to have each person have their time to speak what's come up with them, as I've coached the one before them, and then what comes up after and what they take away from it, and then doing accountability at the end. So at the end, everyone commits to what they're going to do, what they committed to from what they learned for the night. And they go post it in our Facebook group, bring it back to the next session. We talk about how they met their accountability. So it really gives a closed loop for having success in all the things where that mindset's one of those tricky little things. If you don't have the accountability, it's so easy to avoid because that little voice in your head just says, oh, don't worry about it. Don't do it. It's going to be okay. You can work it out. But really the truth is, without that accountability, so many people just fall off. And that's the last thing we want to see. And so I love that Arden has put this together where that you can have your skill set and your artistry worked out with Annie, and then can come in with me and really work on the mindset behind it to just keep you moving forward to what it is that you really want to do to live your singing dreams.
Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, Judy. So, that's a little bit of a taste of how Vocality Lab Mindset Call works once a month. And so now let's talk specifics, okay? So Vocality Lab is a 6-month membership, and I've priced it really competitively. It's only $4.99 a month, but not for you guys. So for you guys here, I'm giving you a huge discount when you enroll by this Sunday night because you've become through our workshop, okay? You've shown up to the workshop, you've proven to be serious, you've proven to be passionate. And so for you guys, a discount of 25%, I'm dropping it to $367 a month. So that's over 25% discount, and you'll be grandfathered in at that discounted rate for as long as you renew consecutively. And that is available to you guys through this Sunday. To anyone who enrolls and wants to start in Vocality Lab membership by this starting for this coming month, moving into April. And that's not all. In the spirit of being super generous, I've got some bonuses that I want to offer to you guys for those of you who do enroll by Sunday. So the first bonus is that the first 3 singers of you who enroll by Sunday get to be a part of my VIP cohort. So in addition to your biweekly studio classes with Annie, those in my VIP cohort will also get to work hands-on with me in one additional studio class every other month. Okay, so the first 3 singers who enroll by Sunday will get that into my VIP cohort. And then for everyone who enrolls by this Sunday night, we're giving you what I call my best singing jobs resources database. So what this is a carefully curated list of links and resources of where to find the best singing jobs, the best singing gigs, the best auditions in your area and around the world. So we did the research for you. I can't tell you how many times singers are like, well, okay, but like where do I find the auditions? Where do I actually find the gigs? Like where do I find musicians to collaborate with? How do I submit my recordings for film and TV placement? How do I like so all of this, guys, is in this amazing singing jobs resource database. And that this is something that we give is in our intensive training content for our singers who are in that. And I'm giving it to you guys here. It's extensive. I'm giving it to you guys here as a bonus to those of you who enroll by Sunday. And then the third bonus I'm giving you is I decided to throw in our Singer's Guide to Surviving Cold Season because it's going around. I mean, how many of you have had the ick in the last like 6 weeks? My daughter is currently upstairs with it right now. I had to pick her up early from school today because she was vomiting and she had a fever. So what this is this is a wellness guide for singers it's chock full of secret remedies and health hacks that we've resourced from some of the best singers around the world. And so that is our third bonus in addition to the 25% price discount and the other two. But just a reminder that discount and these bonuses, they disappear after Sunday night. So here's where to enroll in your membership now. If you want to learn more about Vocality Lab and read everything that we were just talking about is on our Vocality Lab website. Ashley just put the link in the chat for you guys. You can click on that link and you can take care of your enrollment right there. We have our monthly payment options. Here, let me share my screen with you just so you guys can see. So this is our website for Vocality Lab, and you can read all about if you need a little more, just processing or whatever, can hear from singers who, have been through. We talk, list the class times and everything on here. And then if you want to enroll, these are our different bonuses and these are our payment options. So again, $367 a month if you want to do monthly, or if you want to opt in for a full year, we give you almost $1,000 discount for a yearly membership if you want to pay in full. So I would love to know if you guys have any questions about this. I think somebody asked about class size. So we cap each cohort of Vocality Lab at 10 because it's a lot of individual attention. So you will never have more than 10 people in your cohort. What else did we, I don't know, who has questions? Does anybody have any questions? You can either just unmute or you can raise your hand. Does anybody else, or did I miss any questions that were in the chat? Let me see. I hope not. Okay. Awesome. So I told you guys that we would keep it short and sweet because we know your time is valuable, as is ours. Did I see somebody who had a question? Barbara, did you have a question? Yeah.
Yes. Will the sessions be available to listen to after?
Yes. Good. Oh, good question. Yes, we record all of our studio classes and mindset calls, and the links to the recordings are posted in the Facebook group after each class. So we have a private Facebook group, which acts as our like community. So when you guys enroll in Vocality Lab, you get two things. You get a login to the members area, which is where all of the self-paced module trainings are. The stuff on breath support, resonance, mindset, mind body, like all the stuff that I was talking about. So you get your login for the members area, which is where all of our training modules are. And then you also get invited into our private Facebook group for Vocality Lab, which acts as like our clubhouse. It's like the community home for Vocality Lab. And that's where we post the Zoom links for class. It's where all of the recordings are posted after each class. And so if Barbara, to answer your question, if you had to come late or miss or something like that, you always have the recording of class. But to me, the benefit of those recordings is actually not even about if you have to miss. It's actually when you're there and you sing in class, you're going to then go back and you're going to watch the recording and you're going to get distinctions watching yourself because you're going to see exactly what Annie was seeing. And you're going to get those distinctions, and those singers who are improving the fastest and getting the most results are the ones who are going back and doing that. So that's really the purpose of the recordings. So good question. Yes, we do record.
And can we record ourselves at the same time, as long as it's not recording other people?
Right. So you cannot, if you were to, you know how like in a Zoom meeting, you can request to record to your own device?
Oh, okay.
Like we can't do that,
Okay.
but you could just like set up your phone and like record yourself if you wanted to, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you don't need to because the class recordings are all provided to you and they're downloadable.
Okay.
It's not quite like the workshop where we don't really let you download them. These
Okay.
are intended to be downloaded by you and kept on your hard drive so that you can refer to them and practice with them. Yeah.
Okay. I have a follow-up question about what we just did, the week-long workshop.
Yeah.
Last week, you said we could download those. Do those disappear after this week?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Those are only available through the workshop and a little bit after.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Great. Thank you.
Cool. Good questions. Anybody else? Those were very good questions. Yes, Kelly.
Hello. It's $367 a month for 6 months.
$367 a month, monthly billed, like auto billed to your credit card for 6 months. Yes.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Anybody else? Okay, you guys. So if any of you have any other specific questions or specific circumstances, you just want to make sure that this is right for you. Ashley, will you put my email address in the chat for everybody? You can email me directly if you have any specific questions and just, want to make sure before you put in your enrollment. Otherwise, you can take care of your subscription enrollment right there on that link. So if you decide that you do want to join us, let's say you want to go with the monthly payment route, you click Get Started Now. And once you click that, you're just directed to enter your information and enter your credit card. And then from there, you'll get taken to an automatic onboarding process where you'll sign our coaching agreement just so that you know what all of our policies are. And then as soon as you do that, you get access to all of the members training modules and you get the welcome email and you get to come to your first class. So our next studio class is coming up on Tuesday, on the 24th. So for those of you who want to dive in right away, you could be in studio class with Annie literally next Tuesday night. All right, you guys, I cannot wait to see you in there. For those of you who are the first 3, get on it. You'll be in my VIP cohort and you get me too. You get all the bonuses, the best singing job resources, but more importantly, you become part of our tribe. And when you're part of our tribe, like we do not let you down. We support you. And that's the biggest thing that I can say, that this group between Annie and Judy and myself and the rest of our team who you don't see, who are behind the scenes, making sure everything works, our whole job is that we want to see you get from A to Z. We want to see you go from good to great. And so we're here to support you to do that when you become part of our tribe. All right, you guys. I told you short and sweet, in and out, 33 minutes. All right, good seeing everybody, and I cannot wait to see you in Vocality Lab. So take care of your enrollment, get the bonuses, and we will see you inside. Bye, everybody.